is dark as heck, but we made it. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can film too much in this office without getting hunted down by HR, but there's a lot of like artifacts from big YouTube channels in the past who have come to this office. I literally saw a Dude Perfect signed basketball in a glass case. Some quick tips here in terms of how you can really stand out and show your manager that you're someone who deserves to be promoted is Good morning, folks. Welcome to my hotel room. It's currently 5 in the morning. I know what you're thinking. Matt, why are you up so early? And no, I did not suddenly decide that I wanted to do some kind of morning productivity routine where you wake up at 5 in the morning. I enjoy the morning and I'm a morning person, but I definitely wouldn't consider myself someone who likes to wake up that early. I'm actually here for work reasons, but I'll talk a little bit more about that later, specifically why I'm here. Right now I have some work that I need to do, so I'm actually going to try and go to the office. It is 5 a.m. here, but it feels like 8 a.m. in New York since I'm on the West Coast this week. And I flew in last night and honestly I can't sleep any longer, so I'm gonna try and see if I can get inside. But as you can see, it's like super dark outside right now. So we'll see if I can get into the office or not. Well guys, we just pulled up. It is dark as heck, but we made it to the YouTube headquarters. There's like nothing going on here. Okay. Nice. Alright, so I was wrong. I actually have to go to this building on the other side of the street. So the main reason that I'm here right now in San Bruno, California, at the good old YouTube headquarters, is that there's actually a training that I'm attending. And so for the past couple days, I've been sitting in a lot of these sessions where there's a lot of high-level Google execs and people at the company who are talking about what they do and also giving us a lot of lore on the history of the company. And this training is meant for people who are only less than a year into the job, and so it's also a great opportunity to just network and meet a lot of other Googlers and build relationships that hopefully will continue into the future. But that said, it's definitely not all fun and games. I still have a decent amount of work that I have on my plate, and so throughout the training I've been trying to take as much time as I can during breaks or when there's periods of time where we're not in sessions to respond to emails or pings and work on my main deliverables, which are still due at the end of the week. But that said, I mean, I'm trying to make the most of it, and this is honestly a pretty awesome experience to be able to come here. And the crazy thing is there's so much history in this office, and there's like stuff on the walls, which unfortunately I don't know if I can film too much in this office without getting hunted down by HR, but there's a lot of like artifacts from big YouTube channels in the past who have come to this office. I literally saw a Dude Perfect signed basketball in a glass case around the corner just now, and it's like almost a full circle moment for me because it's crazy that a little bit over a year ago, I started posting on this channel, and it was my dream to one day be able to visit the YouTube headquarters, and now here I am working at the company that runs YouTube and feeling just so fortunate for the opportunity. And of course for all of you as well for supporting me and coming along for the journey. But anyways, I just got out of a meeting with my manager. It was a one-on-one where we were just strategizing on what I have to do today basically, and so I have my work cut out for me. And so I think I'm going to spend the next couple hours before the training starts to lock in and do some work, because I've been operating on East Coast time even though I'm on the West Coast. And so I basically wake up really early in the morning, and then training doesn't start until 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is the same as noon Eastern. And so there's no one in the office right now. It's super quiet. It's just the way I like it. All right guys, so pro tip right here, if you are working full-time or maybe you're doing an internship and you have a manager that you meet with on a pretty regular basis, whether it's daily, every other day, or weekly, some quick tips here in terms of how you can really stand out and show your manager that you're someone who deserves to be promoted is basically these 4 steps right here, which I've lined out. Step 0 is you need to prepare your bullets and basically your talking points about what you want to talk about with your manager in your one-on-one before the meeting even happens. And I put this as step 0 because it needs to happen before the meeting. You need to take a little bit of time. It honestly can just be like 10 minutes to think about, okay, what do I actually want to talk to my manager about? And are there specific things that I need their help with? Because you don't want to go into the meeting and basically just like not have an agenda and just expect your manager to tell you what you need to do. That's like level 1. But if you want to get to level 2, what you need to do is you need to start managing your manager. And part of this is like thinking ahead to how you can leverage your manager's time effectively and only ask them where you need their input. So there are certain things that you can probably resolve on your own, and there are certain things that you probably do need your manager's input to resolve. And so preparing a list of bullet points and then just send it across and literally say to them, hey, so-and-so, for our one-on-one today, I want to discuss these 2 things with you. Number 1 is XYZ, number 2 is XYZ where I need your input here. Does that sound good? Is there anything else that I've missed? And that's a really easy way to impress them and also to just like make sure you have an agenda before the call. And then when you go into the call, so actually I'll do this. So this is during the call. This is before. So during the call, you always want to start with some small talk. Now I know some people hate small talk and I personally really don't like it as well, but it has its place because you need to show them that you're a human and that you care about them. And so like it or not, just open up with some small talk. Don't dive right into work stuff. Literally just spend a second, 30 seconds asking them how they are, how their day's gone, how their weekend was, etc. Be a human, right? And then move into the second step, which is then you ask them, is there anything that's top of mind before we get into the meeting, right? This shows that you care about what they're thinking and you want to basically give them space in case there's something that's very urgent that they're thinking about, that they want to talk with you about. You want to give them the opportunity to speak first before you go through your plan. And so this is a really good thing to keep in mind that I also am personally trying to implement in more of my meetings with people, because I think most of us have this tendency to want to just dive right into whatever we wanted to talk about, right? It's all about me in these meetings. I just want to talk about what I have been thinking about, what's on my plate, blah, blah, blah. But the world doesn't revolve around you. And so you need to spend some time and actually ask your manager if there's anything that's top of mind for them first. Then if they say no, you can go into here. If they do say yes, then you can discuss that thing with them. But afterwards, then go into your actual plan and then talk through like, this is what I'm working on. This is how it's going. Maybe this is where I need your input, and this is my plan for ultimately sending it out to the VP or whoever the final deliverable is going to. And yeah, you want to be active as opposed to passive. And it's as simple as trying to always push things forward and not just sitting in the meeting and waiting for your manager to tell you what to do. So yeah, hope it was helpful, and let me know what you think in the comments. So I just got out of a call with one of my team members, and to give you guys a little bit of context on what I'm working on, to the extent that I can share, basically I am currently writing up a strategy document for a specific part of the business. So it's like a Word document essentially that's like 4 or 5 pages long, and it has to be able to get the idea across in a very clear way to a high-level exec. And actually I know at Amazon they do this a lot, where Bezos has this rule of only using, I think it's like 5 or 6 page memos. But essentially I've been writing up this document for the past couple weeks, and one of the things that I think nobody really talks about is how much perfectionism plays into any kind of work product that you produce on the job. And so my manager will give me comments on the document and ask me to turn these comments, or someone else will give me feedback, but nobody is going to tell me exactly how good or how complete it needs to be before we can send it to the execs. And you can also spend hours working on something and still not feel like it's good enough. And a lot of the times I find myself running into this situation where I've spent an entire day working on something and I still don't feel good about it, or I still don't feel like it's good enough to send back to the executive or to whoever the audience is. And I think there's a balance, honestly, between perfectionism and efficiency